This is it. It's over. The KTM's getting out of here, dude. This is the last ride. I'm going to give a final review on this bike. I'm going to keep it real with you, tell you the truth about KTM and whether you should get a KTM, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. Stay tuned.
Let's go for a ride. Subscribe today.
If you want to get my gear like this ultra lightweight carbon fiber helmet, motovlog camera, airbag vest to help keep you safe, all of my gear, I always include links in the description and comment section. This thing rips, man. This is what my bone stock 2024 KTM 690 SMCR looked like before, and this is what it looks like after. Those are official KTM black fairings. They're just from another model year, and those are officially licensed graphics. You know, I have to say, I did some really awesome mods on this bike. Look at that LED light, aftermarket light looks awesome. The graphics kits, the black and orange, looks sick. I got the comfort seat on there, the fender eliminator kit. I got the tail light with the integrated turn signals. I got the LITHIUM full exhaust, the carbon fiber tip, the carbon fiber heat shield on there. The hand guards with the integrated turn signals and the mirrors, the fold out mirrors on there. I got the power commander on there. I got the restart lithium battery on there. Airbox. I did all the mods that you're supposed to do on this bike to get the full proper power on this bike. And I have to say, guys, that it's been a long time since I rode this bike. And I tell you, man, this bike is hella fun, man. Seriously, guys, seriously, it's hella fun. But you know what? I actually still prefer my 2019 YZ450FX Custom Supermoto better. It's 80 pounds lighter weight. That lighter weight, I'm telling you guys, it just makes a bike more fun, especially when you take it off-road. I took this off-road one time on a trail, and I tell you, you can feel all that weight on this bike. Compared, the YZ feels like a mountain bike in the woods compared to this bike, man. Would I do this all over again? Would I get this KTM again, guys? I'm going to tell you that, honestly, if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have bought this KTM, but I always wanted to experience the 690, the big bore single, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, it's overkill. I'll be honest with you guys, you don't need this much power for a freaking supermoto, man. It's way too much power. I'd rather have less power and less weight with less weight than to have more power and more weight, man. It's just it's a fun bike. If you're not gonna mess around off-road or do any hooligan stuff like riding up staircases and acting a fool and stuff like that, then I would tell you this bike is fine for that. You know what I'm saying? It's fine if you're not gonna do any hooligan riding. If you're just gonna ride on the street like any old street bike out here, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's got plenty of power on the highway. Yeah! Thing it's got. But if you want to be a proper hooligan, a supermoto fool like I am on my YZ, this bike you can do it. There's a lot of guys out there that are acting a fool and having fun on it, but they can't do it to the level like you can on my YZ, boy. And it's just not going to be. I'm telling you, man, the YZ is so much better, but it requires so much more maintenance. That's one of the reasons why I got this bike, is because it's less maintenance, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do oil changes in hours, like every third ride. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do valve checks as often. You have to do none of that stuff. You just ride. But then you got to deal with 80 pounds or more weight. You know what I'm saying? And then it's overkill in power, really. But overall, I would tell you that the final review that I give on this bike is that it's a fun bike, and it's fun. The quick shifter on there is fun. Boom! Oh, mate! Woo! Lighten it up without having to, you know, that's nice. Even though sometimes I forget to even use it because my YZ doesn't have it, so it's just automatic to grab the clutch. So I find myself using the clutch anyhow. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I love the sound. That's awesome with that Leo Vinci sound on there. I don't like the rider aids on this bike, guys. I don't like the traction control on here. You don't need the traction control on this bike. You don't need power modes, none of that. I just give me the straight power. That's all I need, man. I don't want intrusive electronics. I don't want to have to get a dongle to connect to this bike to memorize it, to keep the traction control, because every time you cut this bike on, you got to cut the traction control off. But overall, I have to say, if you're looking to get this bike, honestly, from my understanding, if you maintain it well, fine, that it should be pretty reliable for you. There's guys out there that got like 50,000 miles plus on these single cylinder 690 big bore engines. So I haven't really had any problems. The only problem I've had was when I rev bombed it once, it cut off. Uh-oh, my motor cut off. And then I cut it back on. I haven't had a problem since. But I shouldn't have been rev bombing it so crazy like I was doing, man. But otherwise, I haven't had any problems with this bike, man.
This bike had been sitting in the garage for over 6 months over the winter, and I just recently started up. It started lightning fast, guys. No problems.
The bike's got to go, baby. It's got to go. Because I enjoy my YZ, like I said, more than this bike. So it makes no sense to keep two basically of the same type of bike, and I like the YZ better. So, but I'll probably be selling this, and I have a Yamaha YZF R9 on order, which I need that like I need a hole in the head. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need that bike, but I'm just doing it to share the bike with you, with my viewers, do a build on it, have fun with it. And hopefully I won't get a ticket for speeding on it, because them sport bikes are good for getting you some tickets and cops following you and stuff, man. It's a cool bike, man. It's fun. It sounds good. I love that sound, baby. I can red bomb it all day, baby. It's got that torque. Look at that. That torque, boy. Oh man, all kinds of torque. It's a fun bike. What can I say, man? You know what I'm saying? But I just personally recommend the YZ450FX. You turn into a supermoto, baby. Make it street legal. By the way, if you want to see the full build series where I made my YZ450FX a custom supermoto and made it street legal, I'll include a link in the top right corner if you want to do that. And I got links to all the stuff I use to build the supermoto too. So it's got to go. This is the last ride, baby. Last ride. And the KTM is going. Leave a comment below if you have any questions you want to ask me about this bike. I'll post the miles per gallon figures right here for the average that I've gotten so far. That's with it mostly modded, because I did mod it like almost as soon as I got it with a performance mod, the power commander and stuff. And I think it's about 44 miles per gallon average or something like that. But I've really ripped the throttle on this bike a lot, so it eats a lot of gas when I do that. Yeah, overall I have to say it's a cool bike. It's a fun bike, man, but it's just, for those of you that can't make a 450 supermoto, make a 450 into a street legal supermoto, and you don't want a high maintenance supermoto and deal with that, then by all means then get this bike if you want. But also they have that new KTM 390 SMCR that you could get a sick deal, and that thing's like $5,600, man. It's like half the cost, less than half the cost than this bike, man. I think this bike was like $12,000. That's like 50. That's like way more than half, man. Cheap, dirt cheap. And look at this guy having fun on it, man. He's having a lot of fun. That bike is torquey and peppy, and but it weighs actually 2 pounds heavier than this 690. Go figure. That's what boggles my mind. But hey, for that price, shoot, that's a good deal, boy. Honestly, if I have to say, would I recommend buying a KTM? Honestly, I don't think you're really going to have much trouble out of the 690 engine here and the 390 engine or anything. Now if you need parts, they can be hard to come by sometimes. Like I have a panel here I ordered and it took like a couple months to get it or so. I gotta put it on here. I had to buy a whole new decal and everything. When I get home, I gotta put it on there. Not so many KTM dealers. It's even less now because KTM forced a lot of dealers to take a lot of stock and they lost money, so a lot of them dropped their KTM lineup. So you may find even less KTM dealers. So I don't know, you might want to check your area to see if you have a KTM dealer nearby. If not, then you may want to reconsider. But you can buy KTM parts online, but if you don't know you're not mechanically inclined and don't know how to fix and work on bikes, then you may not want to do that. And you can never go wrong with the Japanese bikes. That's all I gotta say. And honestly, like I said, if I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have bought this bike. But anyways, guys, make sure to hit thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell symbol so you get notified when my new videos are released. But I release new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Deuces.